Goldstein.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and it's a privilege to have the opportunity to reflect on this motion in this place, particularly because such a high share of Goldstein residents are people who are either at a stage of living in a retirement village or may choose to do so into the future. And that's why I think this issue of broad interest to everybody in the Parliament. We're very cognisant of the fact that we have to make sure that people who are entering a vulnerable stage in their life have safety and security at the heart of their living arrangements. And it's not just physical safety and security, but also financial safety and security, so people can retire with confidence into the future and make sure that they're not in a position where they can be taken advantage of either by companies or other individuals. Of course, retirement villages play an enormously important part of our retirement system, making sure people can transition to a life in some forms of supported care, but also in an environment where they can use communal facilities, whether it's dining room, emergency and medical facilities, and also enjoying other support services so that they can enjoy the remainder of their life in comfort and security. And what we know is that there need to be proper regulation to make sure that the retirement system is available for everybody to achieve that security. And that's why I think, like with other members, I was particularly shocked at the recent Four Corners investigation, which found a number of concerning incidents in retirement villages, including one within the Goldstein electorate. Now, I need to disclose, Deputy Speaker, that I am actually a shareholder of AO and have taken a personal hit, but that is irrelevant to the actual discussion, because what we actually need is to make sure that we prioritise the interests of residents first and people such as shareholders as myself later. And to do so, I've actually connected and reached out to people who were involved in that program or informing that program, and recently met with Gwyneth Jones to hear her first-hand story, where she was accompanied by another resident of AO, Bentley Retirement Village, Margaret Lee, as well as a volunteer advocate for Mrs Jones by name of Mr Alan Cohen. And Ms Jones has been a member of the Goldstein community for most of her life and has been a long-term resident of AO's facility. But she has raised very direct concerns with me about the experiences that she has had and whether she feels that she has been poorly treated as a consequence of the policies of AO. There are other people who have raised similar concerns with me as part of a broader discussion around elderly abuse, and I'm very cognisant of aware of that. That's why when the Attorney-General, the Honourable George Brandis, QC, came to the Goldstein electorate recently, we created the opportunity to bring together different advocates as part of a forum to discuss, an internal forum to discuss in the Goldstein office, some of the issues around elderly abuse, to make sure that all constituents' concerns were heard and had a direct connection back to the most senior levels of government. And I'd particularly like to thank Serge Chardot, Graham Westaway, Dominic Horn, Debbie Allen, Melissa Lemercier and Sally Costa, who all came from different agencies, including local hospitals, primary healthcare networks, as well as family and community support organisations, to inform that discussion and to connect directly with the Attorney-General about some of the challenges we face with elder abuse. But they're not the only people who have reached out and connected directly to me about some of the concerning stories that they have heard in retirement villages. I recently had conversation with Bonnie Roberts from Fairway Hostel in Sandringham, and Fairway Hostel is an outstanding aged care support home. But Bonnie raised with me very seriously her concerns of what the reports she's seen, and also reports from her friends about the situation that some people face in retirement care. That's why this resolution is so important, because at the heart of it is not just a discussion around regulation, and that's very important, and entry and exit fees, but at the heart of the discussion is human experience and the extent to which people can retire with confidence and security. And we know with an ageing population, Deputy Speaker, this is going to become a more sensitive issue into the future. And that's precisely why it's important to take the opportunity from some of the problems that have been raised now to fix the system for everybody. Because, let's face it, even some of the members who are present today are going to one day need support and assisted care in retirement villages or eventually aged care as well. So we have to be mindful of the fact that every Australian is going on this journey through different stages of life. And if we want the system that's going to protect every Australian, it requires the action by government, working with collaboratively the states through COAG processes now. And that is what will deliver the best interests of the Australian people, but more particularly the best interests of the people of Goldstein.